actually wants to make love to her. Something very
Television sold us wholesome families and laugh tracks. But some of our favorite characters were hiding truths the networks barely allowed them to whisper. From groundbreaking firsts to coded performances that flew over everyone's heads, these sitcom icons changed comedy, while most viewers missed what was happening right in front of them. Ready to see your childhood differently?
Hey, I'm still the Jodie who plays tennis with you. I'm still the Jodie who bowls with you.
1. Jodie Dallas from Soap obliterated boundaries in 1977, with Billy Crystal playing Jodie Dallas, television's first openly gay main character. America lost its mind. Religious groups organized boycotts before the show aired. Sponsors fled, and ABC stations refused to broadcast episodes. The controversy made national headlines, turning a sitcom character into a cultural battleground. Jodie's storyline involved considering gender reassignment, fathering a child, and falling for a football player. Crystal played every moment with heartbreaking sincerity. Critics split between praising the groundbreaking representation and condemning the show's mockery. Jodie appeared in all 4 seasons, surviving assassination attempts, cult kidnappings, and alien abductions because soap was bonkers. Beneath the absurdist comedy, Jodie represented revolution for 1970s television. When soap ended in 1981, Jodie had survived network censors, advertiser pressure, and cultural backlash to become one of TV's most important firsts. Networks learned audiences could handle gay characters if the writing was honest and performances were real.
Knows I'm gay, but that doesn't mean that she's going to be comfortable staying in the same house with me.
2. Leon Karp from Roseanne. Roseanne Connor's boss Leon became one of 1990s television's most important recurring characters. Martin Mull played Leon with perfect deadpan exhaustion, a gay man running Wellman Plastics while dealing with Roseanne's chaos. The show introduced Leon as Roseanne's antagonist, the uptight boss versus her rebellion. Season 4 dropped the bombshell. Leon was gay, and Roseanne shrugged and kept antagonizing him about work issues. Radical for 1991 network television, and treating orientation as unremarkable while focusing on personality. Leon eventually married partner Scott in a ceremony that became television's earliest same-gender weddings. Roseanne herself officiated, the episode treating it with genuine warmth while maintaining sarcastic edge. ABC initially resisted, worried about Southern affiliates and advertisers. Roseanne Barr fought hard, threatening to walk if the network censored Leon's wedding. The episode aired in 1995, drawing both praise and condemnation. Leon represented something crucial, a gay man whose orientation was part of his identity, but never his only characteristic. He remained Roseanne's boss, occasional ally, and frequent antagonist throughout the series. When the show ended, Leon had appeared in over 30 episodes, outlasting many supposedly major characters.
No, actually, we talked about Helen Willick.
3. Carol Willick from Friends. Ross Geller's ex-wife, Carol, only appeared in a handful of Friends episodes, but her presence shaped the show's foundation. Carol left Ross for a woman named Susan, and the show treated this as Ross's catastrophe rather than Carol's liberation. The pilot established Ross's divorce as recent trauma, his wife's orientation revealed as punchline. But Carol and Susan became something unexpected. A functional, loving couple whose relationship worked better than most main characters' disasters. Jane Sibbett played Carol with warmth and patience, particularly dealing with Ross's entitled attitude about son Ben. Writers walked a difficult line, acknowledging 1990s audience discomfort while portraying Carol and Susan as stable parents. Their wedding episode in Season 2 drew massive controversy, on with NBC facing advertiser pressure and affiliate complaints. The network added parental warnings, lost sponsors, and watched conservative groups organize boycotts. But it aired anyway, becoming one of Friends' most culturally significant moments, despite Carol being recurring rather than main cast. What made Carol important wasn't screen time, but what she represented. a woman who chose authenticity over convenience. Ross never forgave her, but Carol and Susan's relationship outlasted every other couple, except Monica and Chandler.
Senator, it's an honor. I'm Angela's friend Oscar.
Oscar.
4. Oscar Martinez from The Office. The Office turned Oscar's coming out into something messy, uncomfortable, and painfully realistic. Oscar Martinez spent early seasons closeted, his conservative demeanor masking deeper truths. When Michael Scott accidentally outed him in Season 3, the show didn't play it for easy laughs. Instead, Michael's panicked overcompensation became excruciating, culminating in an unwanted kiss that violated every boundary. Oscar Nunez played these moments with perfect discomfort, showing a man forced into visibility before he was ready. The show spent following seasons exploring Oscar's relationships, his judgmental attitude, and his affair with a senator that revealed even smart people make catastrophically stupid decisions. That storyline drew criticism for making Oscar an adulterer, but it showed a gay character as flawed and human as everyone else in Dunder Mifflin. Oscar wasn't a saint, wasn't a stereotype, wasn't there to teach Michael tolerance lessons. He was an accountant who happened to be gay, whose personality traits had nothing to do with his orientation. When The Office ended, Oscar had appeared in nearly every episode, his impact on representation undeniable. He proved sitcoms could feature gay characters without making orientation their entire personality.
My carnitas burrito from a week ago, gone. My Meatpocalypse pizza from last Wednesday.
5. Max Bloom from Happy Endings. Happy Endings gave audiences Max Bloom, and television suddenly had a gay character who destroyed every stereotype networks maintained for decades. Adam Pally played Max as lazy, sloppy, sports-obsessed, and completely uninterested in fashion or decorating. He wore Bears jerseys, ate garbage food, and maintained an apartment that looked like a tornado hit a frat house. Network executives initially resisted, concerned audiences wouldn't accept a gay man who didn't fit established patterns. But Max became the show's breakout character. His relationships with boyfriend Grant and later Derek played with genuine affection beneath sarcasm. The show ran from 2011 to 2013, earning critical praise but struggling with ABC's terrible scheduling. Max proved you could be gay and messy, gay and into sports, gay and completely uninterested in cultural markers television usually assigned. He quoted Godfather extensively, pranked friends relentlessly, and maintained a penny can that became the show's recurring joke. Critics loved Max, calling him one of television's most refreshing gay characters, precisely because he refused to be helpful, wise, or well-dressed. The show's cancellation after 3 seasons devastated fans. Happy Endings taught networks that gay characters didn't need sanitizing to work.
About. I'm just being supportive of my partner and my sister, both of whom I love.
6. Mitchell Pritchett from Modern Family. Modern Family made Mitchell Pritchett the uptight, anxious half of television's most visible gay couple for 11 seasons. Jesse Tyler Ferguson played Mitchell as controlling, neurotic, and desperate for his father's approval, traits having nothing to do with orientation. The show premiered in 2009, writing cultural change that made gay couples on network television less shocking, but still significant. Mitchell and Cameron's relationship became the show's emotional anchor, their adoption of Lily providing endless parenting storylines. ABC initially worried about showing the couple kissing, enforcing absurd restrictions that drew criticism. The network eventually relaxed those rules, but early seasons featured noticeably less physical affection than straight couples received. Mitchell worked as lawyer, then job-hopped while dealing with his family's chaos. His relationship with Father Jay provided the show's most consistent growth, watching a traditional man slowly accept his son completely. Ferguson won multiple Emmy nominations, and Mitchell became one of television's most recognizable gay characters. The show ran 11 seasons, winning Outstanding Comedy Series 5 times and changing network television's landscape. Mitchell wasn't groundbreaking like Jodie Dallas, but his integration into mainstream family sitcom represented massive cultural progress.
Taken pictures of you sleeping every night since we got married because you're the man of
7. Cameron Tucker from Modern Family. Cameron Tucker was Mitchell's emotional, dramatic, farm-raised partner, and Eric Stonestreet played him with such commitment, he won 2 Emmys. Cam came from Missouri farm country, bringing rural sensibilities and theatrical flair to Los Angeles life. The character walked a difficult line between stereotype and subversion, his love of musical theater playing into expectations, while his football coaching and farm background defied them. Stonestreet, a straight actor playing gay, faced criticism from some LGBTQ advocates who wanted different casting, but his performance won over skeptics through sheer commitment. Cam taught music, coached football, became a stay-at-home parent, and eventually found his calling in education. His relationship with Mitchell survived wedding disasters, adoption challenges, and family interference over 11 seasons. The show played their conflicts for comedy, but never mocked their relationship's legitimacy. ABC promoted Modern Family heavily as representing changing American families, using Mitchell and Cam's relationship as evidence of cultural progress. Conservative groups organized boycotts that went nowhere, and the show became one of network television's biggest hits. Cam proved gay men could be feminine without being weak, emotional without being unstable. When the show ended, Cam and Mitchell moved to suburbs to raise their kids.
Saw the full-page ad in the New York Times. Welcome back, Stan. Love your friends at Pizza Hut.
8. Will Truman from Will and Grace. Will Truman launched a television revolution when Will and Grace premiered in 1998, giving NBC its first openly gay main character in primetime sitcom. Eric McCormick played Will, as successful, handsome, and neurotic, a lawyer whose romantic life was disaster despite professional success. The show arrived during cultural warfare over gay rights, with conservatives pushing Defense of Marriage Act, while progressives fought for recognition. Will and Grace became a battleground, praised as groundbreaking and condemned as promoting alternative lifestyles. McCormick, a straight actor, faced questions about playing gay that would seem absurd today, but represented real 1990s concerns. The show spent 8 seasons chronicling Will's relationships and personal growth, his dynamic with best friend Grace providing emotional foundation. Will was notably reserved about physical affection, the show keeping his romantic life mostly off-screen while Jax was more visible. This created controversy within LGBTQ communities, critics arguing the show pandered to straight audiences through desexualization. But the character's impact on American culture was undeniable, with Vice President Joe Biden later crediting Will and Grace with advancing marriage equality. The show ended in 2006. It returned for 3 more seasons in 2017. Whether audiences realized it, Will Truman changed what television could show.
Yeah, I think so. I did a papaya salt scrub, a cucumber mask, a hot oil...
9. Jack McFarland from Will and Grace. Jack McFarland was everything Will Truman wasn't. Flamboyant, unemployed, theatrical, and unapologetically visible. Sean Hayes played Jack with explosive energy, creating a character who embraced every stereotype while somehow transcending them through sheer commitment. Jack was vain, shallow, fame-obsessed, and absolutely hilarious, his one-liners becoming the show's most quotable moments. NBC executives worried Jack was too much, too stereotypical, too likely to confirm negative assumptions about gay men. But Hayes' performance won over skeptics, and Jack became Will and Grace's breakout character. His various careers included acting, dancing, choreography, and eventually hosting his own talk show. Jack's relationship with his mother and search for love provided emotional depth, particularly his eventual marriage to Estefan and their journey to parenthood. His friendship with Karen Walker became the show's most beloved relationship, their barbed exchanges and genuine affection creating comedy gold. Jack performed in numerous musical numbers and fantasy sequences, showcasing Hayes' versatility. Conservative groups specifically targeted Jack as evidence of the show's agenda, But his popularity proved audiences loved characters who defied expectations. Hayes won an Emmy, and Jack became one of television's most recognizable gay characters. When Will and Grace ended, Jack had appeared in every single episode across 11 seasons.
Mostly my dad.
Wait a minute.
10. Carter Haywood from Spin City. Spin City gave Michael J. Fox his post-Family Ties comeback, but the show's secret weapon was Carter Haywood, played by Michael Boatman. Carter worked as deputy mayor's staff member specializing in minority affairs, and the show revealed his orientation casually in early episodes without making it major storyline. This was radical for 1996 network television, treating a black gay character as simply part of the ensemble. Carter's personality was defined by intelligence, sarcasm, and professional competence rather than orientation. The show occasionally featured storylines about Carter's dating life and family relationships. But these weren't very special episodes about being gay, just normal sitcom plots. Boatman played Carter with dry wit, making him perfect foil to other characters' chaos. ABC promoted Spin City as political comedy from Gary David Goldberg, though focusing marketing on Fox's return to television. Carter's presence in the ensemble went largely unremarked in promotional materials, which was exactly the point. The show ran 6 seasons, surviving Fox's departure when Charlie Sheen took over. Carter appeared throughout the entire run, his character maintaining consistency. What made Carter significant was his unremarkability within the show's universe. Critics largely ignored this representation, proving how well the show integrated Carter. When Spin City ended in 2002, Carter had been one of network television's longest-running gay characters of color.
Wish I was. Does not throw in the towel just because the old man she's scamming is suddenly going all...
11. Mark St. James from Ugly Betty. Ugly Betty imported Colombian telenovela format to ABC and surrounded protagonist Betty Suarez with Fashion Week absurdity, including Mark St. James, the bitchy assistant to Wilhelmina Slater. Michael Urie played Mark with perfect cattiness, creating a character who was vain, cruel, ambitious, and absolutely fabulous. Mark started as pure villain, undermining Betty at every opportunity and serving Wilhelmina's schemes with devoted efficiency. But the show gradually revealed layers: Mark's working-class background, his complicated family relationship, his genuine friendship with Amanda, and his romantic relationships. The character was openly gay from first appearance, wearing designer clothes and speaking in pop culture references that flew past Betty's head. Urie made Mark more than stereotype through sheer performance force, finding humanity in someone who could have been pure caricature. Mark's relationship with Scotty became one of the show's sweetest romances, their eventual wedding treated with genuine emotion. The character represented fashion industry reality, where gay men held significant creative power but faced discrimination. ABC promoted Ugly Betty as diverse representation, but the show struggled with ratings despite critical acclaim. Mark appeared in all 4 seasons, his arc showing growth from villain to friend to complex human being. The show's cancellation in 2010 left storylines unfinished.
I'm taking your dad and Paige to the airport, and I'm watering Paige's plants when she's in El Salvador.
12. Ellen Morgan from Ellen DeGeneres made television history when her character, Ellen Morgan, came out in April 1997. An episode that drew 42 million viewers and massive controversy. The show had spent 4 seasons as quirky friendship comedy called These Friends of Mine before rebranding as Ellen. DeGeneres fought ABC for permission to make her character gay, facing resistance from executives terrified of advertiser backlash. The network finally agreed, but added parental warnings and lost major sponsors, including JCPenney and Chrysler. Conservative groups organized boycotts, religious leaders condemned it from pulpits, and ABC affiliates in multiple markets refused to air it. The episode itself featured Laura Dern as Ellen's love interest and became appointment television, its cultural impact extending far beyond normal sitcom viewership. DeGeneres herself came out simultaneously, her real life and character life merging in unprecedented ways. The show's following season focused heavily on Ellen's navigation of dating and identity, drawing criticism from some viewers who felt it became too preachy. Ratings declined, advertisers remained skittish, and ABC canceled the show after 5 seasons. DeGeneres later said the cancellation devastated her career, leading to years of professional exile before her eventual comeback. Ellen Morgan's Coming Out episode won an Emmy and Peabody Award. The character proved network television could show gay women, but the industry's response showed how unwilling they were to support that representation.
I wish you hadn't done that, Blanche.
Hush up. It was for your own good.
13. Blanche's brother Clayton from The Golden Girls. The Golden Girls spent 7 seasons celebrating friendship and cheesecake, but one recurring character represented groundbreaking representation: Blanche's gay brother Clayton. The show introduced Clayton in season 4, revealing his orientation to Blanche, who initially struggled with accepting her own brother's truth. Monty Markham played Clayton with dignity, and the show treated his storyline seriously, rather than mining it purely for jokes. Blanche's journey from rejection to acceptance became one of television's most honest depictions of family members processing a loved one's coming out. The episode drew both praise and criticism, with conservative groups condemning NBC, while LGBTQ advocates applauded the representation. Clayton returned in season 6 for a groundbreaking episode where he married partner Doug, with Blanche again struggling before ultimately supporting her brother. NBC aired the wedding episode in 1991, years before Ellen or Will and Grace, showing 2 men committing to each other on network television. The episode faced advertiser pressure and affiliate resistance but aired anyway, drawing solid ratings and positive critical response. Clayton was notably unapologetically Southern, challenging stereotypes about regional attitudes. His relationship with Blanche provided emotional depth, showing even progressive-seeming people could struggle with homophobia when it affected their own family. The Golden Girls ended in 1992, but Clayton's appearances remained culturally significant.
Even if it means me taking a chubby, I will suck it up.
14. Tobias Funke from Arrested Development. Arrested Development never explicitly confirmed Tobias Funke's orientation, but the show spent 5 seasons dropping hints so obvious that subtlety became the joke itself. David Cross played Tobias as a never-nude former psychiatrist turned struggling actor whose marriage to Lindsay was sexless and performative. The character's dialogue was filled with accidental double entendres, his attraction to men so thinly veiled it became absurd. Tobias joined a Blue Man Group tribute band, wore cut-off jean shorts under all clothing, and displayed zero awareness of how his words sounded. The show's writers crafted every Tobias line as potential evidence, creating a character whose closeted status was the joke everyone got, except Tobias himself. His relationship with Lindsay collapsed because neither wanted the other. Critics debated whether the show's treatment of Tobias's implied orientation was progressive or problematic, whether making closeted status a punchline crossed lines. But the character worked because Cross played Tobias as genuinely oblivious, rather than tortured, his lack of self-awareness becoming his defining trait. When Arrested Development returned for Netflix seasons, Tobias remained ambiguous, the show refusing to confirm what everyone already knew. This ambiguity became frustrating to some viewers wanting explicit representation. Tobias proved you could build an entire character around implied orientation without ever saying the words.
Well, I hope your bow shows, because if that spotlight finds you all alone...
15. Beverly Leslie from Will and Grace Karen Walker's nemesis. Beverly Leslie appeared in only 11 Will and Grace episodes, but became one of television's most memorable recurring characters. Leslie Jordan played Beverly as a wealthy, vertically challenged Southern gentleman whose rivalry with Karen provided some of the show's biggest laughs. Beverly was openly gay, referring to his pastels and making catty remarks about Karen's various husbands and questionable life choices. The character was deliberately stereotypical, tiny, southern, wealthy, and dripping with affected mannerisms that Jordan played to perfection. But the stereotype worked because Jordan committed completely, making Beverly hilariously awful rather than mean-spirited. His exchanges with Karen were legendary, their insults escalating to absurd heights, while maintaining genuine affection underneath. The show killed Beverly off in Season 8, having him blown off Karen's terrace by a gust of wind in one of Sitcom's most ridiculous deaths. Jordan won an Emmy for the role despite minimal screen time, proving you didn't need major episode counts to make impact. Beverly represented old-school gay Southern aristocracy, a demographic television rarely acknowledged. The character's wealth and social status subverted expectations about gay men's economic circumstances. When Will and Grace returned for revival seasons, the show acknowledged Beverly's absence. The Jordan's portrayal became so iconic, he launched an entire second career on social media decades later.
Hollywood's cookie-cutter mold.
I'm a character actress, and I love them.
16. Patty the daytime hooker from My Name is Earl, featured dozens of bizarre Camden County residents. But Patty the daytime hooker stood out for her warmth, humor, and complete acceptance by the show's community. Dale Dickey played Patty as a working woman who happened to be a prostitute. Her relationship with another woman treated casually by everyone around her. The show revealed Patty's romantic relationship gradually, integrating her orientation into Camden's weird tapestry without making it a special moment. Earl Hickey's list included making amends to Patty for various past wrongs, and the show treated her with respect despite her profession and rough exterior. What made Patty significant was her complete integration into the show's universe, where nobody cared about her orientation, because Camden had way bigger problems. She appeared throughout the series, her relationship with her girlfriend, showing functional partnership in a community filled with dysfunction. NBC promoted My Name is Earl as heartwarming comedy about redemption, not mentioning the show's casual integration of gay characters. Patty represented something television rarely showed, a working-class lesbian whose orientation was unremarkable to everyone around her. The show's cancellation after 4 seasons left Earl's list incomplete and Patty's story unfinished. But her character proved sitcoms could feature gay women in non-glamorous settings without making orientation their storyline. Dickey's performance made Patty memorable, not because she was gay, but because she was human. These 16 characters changed television whether you noticed or not. Some fought network censors. Some arrived when culture was ready. And some hid in plain sight for decades. From Jodie Dallas breaking barriers in 1977 to Modern Family, making gay dads mainstream in 2009, these characters shaped comedy and culture. Which one surprised you most? Did you catch the hints? Or did these revelations blindside you years later? Tell us who you're mad we left off this list, and whether sitcoms today do it better or just differently.